an interesting parallel would be if we look at smaller, what happens in smaller catastrophes, like we've seen today. When we look at the, for example, when Katrina hit New Orleans, right? It was almost as if the human species separated into two subspecies. You had one group of people that rose to the occasion and did heroic things. They organized and they saved people spontaneously, you know, because the government was conspicuously absent for 5 days, the first 5 days of the Katrina disaster. And here you had a major flooding of New Orleans, and you had people spontaneously organizing and performing these heroic actions of saving their fellow man and doing just stupendous things, superhero type things. But then you had another segment of the population that just went completely barbaric. And you had mass rapes and smashing of businesses and looting and just people running in wild, complete, unrestrained gangs, just committing violent acts at random. So,
and America, the richest country on earth, did not manage that crisis well.
No.
I mean, it was very, and that was a
all.
little crisis by comparison with what we're talking about.
You remember when Kanye West got on TV? George Bush does not like black people.
Oh, I don't remember that. But yeah, George Bush, I think it was on day 4, George Bush flew over in Air Force One and looked out the window.
Wave.
Yeah.
Give people hope.
But there's lessons in those kinds of events.
Sure. Yeah, we're not prepared.
We have to extrapolate from that. And you know, if you go back and I oftentimes as a thought exercise think how would we respond if we knew that there was a high probability of a Younger Dryas type event or series of events impending in our future?
What would you do? Start drinking or?
Well,
What
it
can you
depends.
do?
It all depends on lead time.
Right.
It all depends on lead time.
What if it's a 10-day lead time? Like, you're not going to be able to shoot a rocket up there.
Listen, man, fire up that
days.
Duber again and let's
Exactly.
Go hard to the end.
Yeah.
10 days. But 10 years or 20 years,
Then we can do some stuff.
then we can do some stuff.
The real scary thing is, there's two scary things. One, if you survived, because you're like, fuck. You know, if you really did survive and everybody else was jacked, and all of a sudden you're dealing with some Mad Max type reality where people are starving to death and they're very desperate and they become almost like animals, that's entirely inside the realm of possibility.
Well, that's what we learned from Katrina.